So within our main pom.xml, what we're going to do is to add a plugin within plugin management. So the same way that we've done with Spring Boot Maven plugin, what we're going to do is to add in, so let me just collapse this for a second. So this one. So we're going to add in a second plugin in here, and this plugin will be Jib. Now, the main reason why I'm not putting it inside of this plugins section here, so plugin section, is because I don't want every single submodule to have Jib. So I will let only the modules that need it, i.e. our microservices, to then include them in their POM file. So within plugin management, let's have a plugin, and let me just put this full screen right here. So let's just have a plugin, and this plugin will be Jib. So here I'm going to add the artifact ID, and the artifact is Jib dash and then Maven dash and then plugin. Now this guy here comes from the group ID of com.googlecloud.tools. Let's also specify the version. So in my case, let's use 3.14, and I believe is the latest version as I speak. So make sure that you stick with the exact same version as me so that everything works beautifully. Now that we have this plugin, let's define some default configuration for all of our microservices. So here, let's have the configuration tab, and within this configuration tab, I'm going to specify the from. So from here, we have to basically specify the base image that we want for our Java applications. So we are using Java 17, and what I'm going to do is navigate to Google and type adopt OpenJDK and then Docker. And here, if I click on this very first link, so this is pretty much the official image for adopt OpenJDK. And what I want you to notice is right here, they say that it's deprecated. Right here, they say that it's deprecated. Now they say that this image is officially deprecated in favor of Eclipse Turmeric. Again, Eclipse Turmeric. So before we used to use this image right here. So adopt JDK and then whatever version that you want, either 11, 12, 15, 16, so on and so forth. But now they are recommending us to use this one. So let me just click on this, Eclipse Turmeric. And right here, if I scroll down, you can read more about it, but it provides us with runtime environment images that we can use. So here you can see that it's really straightforward, and all you'd say is Eclipse and then dash Turmeric and then column and then the version that you want. So let's use this in our pom.xml. So here say Eclipse and then dash Turmeric and then column and 17. Now, one thing that I'm going to include in here is the hash. Now, because I want you to use the exact same image, i.e. if this image was to change, for example, in the future, I want to stick with a particular hash, which I know indeed works. So under the description of this video, you'll find the exact full image, but here I'm going to paste the hash, which is a long number. So it's at and then SHA. Oh, actually, my bad. So I meant to say SHA, right? So this is the SHA-256 and not the hash. So SHA-256, and this right here, so is just to make sure that we use the exact same version. Even though this image changes internally, we are guaranteed to use the exact same. And also this is the best practice for Docker anyways. So now we have the from image. So this is the base image. Next, let's have the platforms. So inside, I want to specify plat and then forms. And this is so that because I'm using the Mac M1 chip, so I want to build for different platforms as well. So AMD Linux. So here I'm going to have one platform, and this will take the architecture. So architecture, and this will be ARM 64. So this is what I'm using right now. And then the OS will be Linux. And let's also take this so that if you decide to basically run my image, you can do it. But instead, this will be AMD 64 instead of ARM. So AMD 64. And to be honest, this is all for the from configuration. Now let's specify the to right here. So this is basically the image that we want Jib to build. Now for every single image, I want Jib to have this tag right here. So tags, and inside I'll have one tag, and this will be latest. So every time we build an image, we want to have two images. So we want to have latest, and also if I scroll up and if I go to properties in here, so Jib expects us to have this property right here called image, and this is the name of the image that we will produce along with latest. So here, let's say amigos code / and then $ curly brackets. Then here I want to have project dot and then artifact ID colon and then the version. So this will be $ curly brackets and then project dot, and then you can actually use build. So if you want, if you have a specific build that you have, but for now, because we're not configuring Maven to its full extent, let's just use the version in here. So let's just use version, or maybe if you have a build number that comes from TeamCity or GitHub Actions or others such as Jenkins, you can definitely pass this in here. But in our case, we're not using none of that at this point. So let's just stick with this. And to be honest, this is it. So basically, you can think of this as, so this will be, for example, amigos code, and then the artifact ID will be customer, for example, and then the project version. So I think it's snapshot currently, snapshot, and then blah, right? So if I open up customer right here, and then actually pom.xml, so have a look. So it's just taking the artifact ID, which is this, and then the version right here, right? And also if you want, you can combine with the artifact ID from the parent, so on and so forth. But basically we are centralizing the image name. So if I close this, so we are centralizing the image name right here. So this will be customer, and then we have fraud, we have notification, API gateway, Eureka server, so on and so forth. And you'll see how this will work in a second. But to be honest, this is the configuration needed. You can also find this under the description of this video. And if you want, you can take these and put them as properties if you want. So the same for the version, so on and so forth. So now that we have the base configuration, next let's add in the configuration necessary to our sub modules right here. So customer, API gateway, fraud, Eureka server, and notification. Catch me on the next one.